Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. Yo, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Welcome everyone to the Blue Lounge. Welcome everyone to the stream. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic weekend, fantastic Saturday evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in. Chelsea do what is the norm. You know, we go to Tottenham, we win, we come home, we celebrate. That is the norm. That is just the way it has to be, and that is the way it has been for a while, and it will continue to be for the very near and foreseeable future. Big up to you all. Welcome to the stream. We are going to be giving you our match reaction to the beautiful result and somewhat beautiful-ish performance. We're going to be discussing the performance and discussing some of the gameplay that we saw today, some of the decisions that we saw being made by Maresca, by the referee, by the players, and all that good stuff. So big up to everyone. Let me start by welcoming my panelists. We have a returning panelist. He's been away for a little bit, but it's good to see him back. Lewis, how are you? How you doing?
Excellent. Very happy. Just had my fill of chicken, and I'm good to go for the rest of the week, I think. So very happy, mate.
All right, beautiful. Matt and Kai, you guys were streaming. You were doing a watch along. Jumped in, enjoyed the show. We'll say hello to Kai first. Kai, how are you?
Doing great, mate. It's nothing sweeter than slapping up Spursy, man. Might as well just call it Cobham 2.0. It's basically our training ground now, isn't it?
I think it was it Lavia who said home stay home? Yeah. No, Lavia is trolling Tottenham all over social media, so yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Nee, big up to you. How are you? How you doing? Nee, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. It's just a wonderful Saturday. It's so good to end. If I was England, I would say to end my day with picking up a point that I'm supposed to pick up, every season. 6 points for me, home and away, when we play Tottenham Hotspur. But yeah, what a feeling has it been. But it was too quiet of a game for me. When you watch a London derby, you expect to see those crunchy tackles and a whole lot of fight. And it was a bit minimized in today's game. But I love it. 3 points, beating Tottenham. I love it.
We will get into the game flow and the way the match pans out, and I agree with you to a certain degree, especially in that first half, the first 20 minutes. But yeah, we'll get into all of that. Matt, Stanford Sink, how are you?
Yeah, really good, man. Really good. I loved it. I think you don't always have to score 4 goals to have a good game. I think what we saw today, grit, determination, focus, buzzing. Really happy with the result, man.
Yeah, no, it was a game that, how should I put this? It was a proper derby. We even had blood, sweat, and tears literally in that game. Literally blood, sweat, and tears. So yeah, I'm not complaining on in regards to that. The chat is a bit quiet today, but I see Jackie in the chat. Big up to you, Jackie. Jackie started off with the yo, which is what I normally say when I start a stream. However, Tottenham got battered today, so we started different. No red cards, Jackie says. Yeah, but that should not have been the case, to be fair. Do you know what, Jackie? We're going to start off with that. We're going to start off with the refereeing in this game. I think the refereeing in this game was shambolic. I think we could have seen at least 2 red cards being given to Tottenham today. One is a clear-cut red card when it comes to Reece James and the way he was tackled. But yeah, the officiating in this game, what do you guys make of it?
Terrible, man. Awful. Oh, it was so bad.
Utter mugs,
I don't
mate.
think-
Yeah,
Honestly,
literally.
it was horrendous.
I don't
Even
think
before the red card, the red card incident that should have been a red card.
Mate,
Not
someone
me.
like suplexed Fofana in the box like in the first 10 minutes of the game, and it didn't even get looked at. Absolutely outrageous.
100%. You're about to say something, brother.
Yeah, I don't think that any of the tackles was supposed to be a red card. I don't think so. If there was a red card, then the game is gone, because it wasn't a tackle that went that way. It was a tackle that fell on the player's foot or toes. If we gotta give red card on tackles when a player always stamp on the player's foot, or not stamp, like steps on the player's foot, then the game is gone. Then we take the physical aspect of it off. Because I'm going
But
for the
it-
ball. I missed the
It
and-
wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a stamp on his foot. It was more like a side
I
start
think
on
you're
his
thinking
ankle.
of the Neto one, because the Neto one was like 50-50, because I think his foot went just over the ball. But the Reece James one, there was no ball there. He
No,
went
man.
stud showing straight on his ankle. It was above his foot. Like that, if he caught him in the right way, if you can say that, that's an ankle breaker. Like, hands down. The Neto one, you can say, is a bit 50-50, but the Reece James 100%, there's no way that's not a red card. I'm sorry. What's it? We were discussing it on the stream, weren't we, Matt? Was it what game? Ajax game. They got
Yeah.
sent off for exactly the same tackle. Exactly the same. So
Yeah.
where's the consistency in the refereeing decisions there?
Well, we have to remember that the officiating in the Champions League is way different from the Premier League. Premier League is reason why the Premier League is what it is now is the physical aspect of it. That is how it has grown to become one of the best in the league. The physical aspect of the game. If we take it out and every minimum contact, we have to see that to be a red, or you have to send players off, then the game is gone.
It wasn't
not
minimal
minimum,
contact though, man. He literally nearly broke his ankle.
Yeah.
Mate, it was so
What
bad.
about-
Foot with him after that.
If
Reece
we're
James was
talking
looking
about
around
red-
for his boot.
Mate.
If
Like-
we're talking about red card, what about what's his name? Enzo Fernandez. Also, was it Enzo Fernandez tackle?
Enzo made a bit of a rash tackle later in the game, but not a single thing that happened in the game was worse than that tackle on Reece James, man. That was
That tackle was
horrendous.
higher boot. His legs were higher than where it's supposed to be. It's not on his shin.
He's
on
not
his
gonna
foot, right
break
there.
no one's ankles though, is he?
Someone said it should be red, and I said no, that shouldn't be red either. That should. It was a rash tackle, but they have to measure the amount of effort or maybe the force of nature going into that tackle. Or
The problem is like
I would say this. Had Reece James made that, has it been the other way around, and Reece James had done that tackle, we would be down to 10 men. With our luck, I mean, and this is what I'm saying. You know, we have had very scrutinized officiating when it comes to our tackles, our mistakes. If it's borderline red card, it's a red card. As simple as that. You know, if it's 60% red, it's a red card when it comes to Chelsea. So, you know, for me, I would have liked to have seen that red card given specifically for the fact that we have been giving red cards like it's like it's in season right now, and I'm disappointed in regards to that, but I am very, very pleased that we won. However, we should have won by at least half a dozen goals today, lads. You know, JOAO Pedro, he
Should've
scored
had a
one,
hat-trick, man.
but he could have had a super hat trick. He could have had literally a super hat trick. Just JOAO Pedro. Let's not talk about the Gittins chance. Let's talk about the other chances that went astray. But JOAO Pedro could have had a hat trick. I'm really pleased that he got that goal because it's going to do his confidence wonders. However, we also got a clean sheet, which is something to be pleased about because our defense has been shocking recently, and Fofana and Chalobah started in defense, and I actually thought Chalobah would start, and I actually thought Fofana would be starting. I know we were thinking about at some point getting time, tossing, etc. But Fofana to be playing in this game he's a very experienced defender in the Premier League. Yes, he's been suffering from injuries, but a game of this magnitude, if Fofana is fit, he should play. He's a senior, experienced individual in that back line, and I think he played well today.
Really good.
How do you guys rate the defense in general today?
I think that in general it was good, but in retrospect, Kolo Muane, their striker, was like non-existent as well. So
I'm gonna talk about their front line. I'm gonna talk about a specific player that we all were watching, thinking about watching. We'll talk about them in a second.
I mean, in context of our defensive performance, though, I think our defensive performance was really good against what we came up against. But like just specifically talking about their striker, basically was just not there for the whole game. So it's I thought Fofana was wicked today. I thought Fofana was really good. I think Trevor Chalobah definitely redeemed himself as well. Cucurella's Cucurella, always love Cucurella, the fiery little Spaniard at left back. Absolutely love him. But yeah, you know, I think we defended well today, and you know, a 1-0 basically against a team currently in third place in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
I think that also the biggest thing. Oh, go on then, Lewis. I'll let you jump in first.
So yeah, I think we did well. And funny enough, Fofana got taken out towards the end when they were lobbing those balls to Richarlison. That's what they were trying to do at the end of the game. He beat him every single one of those. So that's what I was kind of shocked that he was taken out. But I think the dirty little secret is Spurs did not show up, man. Like, really, they were very, very, very poor. So they didn't give us much to worry about. The only 2 times they were able to put 4 or 5 passes together, they did get a shot on target. And I think that's down to us having a strong midfield today, but they were very, very weak. That change at the beginning, bringing in the guy that you're probably going to talk about, turned out to be horrendous. They had nothing in midfield. They really didn't challenge us. And like you said, we missed a lot of chances.
Lewis,
we need to get into. It was bad.
Was it them being poor or us being good? Or
We
a bit
have
of
to
both?
show up. Yeah, a bit of both. Like, I think we were good in midfield and in transition, and in contrast, like, brutally at the end of the because we did have, and I think this is something that people misunderstand, like with Malagusta, because he gets caught out often, and he does. But to have that guy that runs at 1,000 miles an hour up and back, up and down the pitch, and you have Reece James inverting and Caicedo as muscle in the middle, that's really, 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 really tough to deal with in transition. And they couldn't at all. They didn't try. And the thing that blew my mind was when they had set pieces, and we did the same thing, which I think is kind of stupid. They didn't lob the ball directly into our box as often. They often played it short to do like 1 or 2 passes and then put it in. And like, what are you doing? Like, have you not watched Chelsea's last any games? Like, just lob the ball into the box.
I would be struggling.
And we had a throw in that bounce in the middle of our box, just like lobbed in. Everybody jumped like 40 feet away from it. So they really didn't show up. That was really shocking. And because we did okay. I don't think we had an amazing game. We were solid in the middle, and against any other team, we would have been in a lot of trouble.
I think we also got to point out that, and it's probably the biggest key, what caused us a lot of problems with defence. The bozo moments today were limited to next to none, which we can say a lot of past games, we have been susceptible of giving away the bozo moments, which we get punished for. And today there wasn't really any of note, if any at all.
Do you reckon the lineup with Reece James being more central, kind of protected that from happening?
Potentially, but in the beginning, it wasn't Reece James in midfield. He started at right back because we were talking about it. Initially, we were like, could be Reece James. Then when we saw it, immediately when they set up for the kickoff, it was Gusto in midfield. And then as the game went on in the first half, they switched because there was, I don't know, they were getting caught out, or maybe it was a tactical thing that Maresca wanted to change. But I think just across the board, as the game went on, they got more confident. The bozo moments they just weren't there. And in an ideal world, they'll never be there. But I think that is a big part of today, that we weren't creating our own problems, which we have done in pretty much every single game this season.
Kai, would you say that maybe that, because I don't think they pressed this as I would normally see Spurs press. Like, I didn't understand. And they had all the bozo moments. They sucked at playing out from the back and insisted on playing out the back. And I was just shocked that they didn't press us. They let us play out. The
And
first two passes were free.
And the biggest thing, and you would think that either they're stupid or they're not doing the research. You only have to go back one game to see what pressing us high does.
Yeah,
What Wolves did to us.
Mate,
Look what Wolves did to us with the high press. But they didn't do it, and they didn't approach it that way. But maybe they didn't have the players who play a high press. I mean, the player that we'll get on in a minute, he's not a high presser. Olumawani is not a high pressing attacker.
I want to address this. I want to address this question from RC, or a comment from RC. Big up to Omar. Omar, I see you in the chat. Big up to Jackie. Big up RC. And guys, give me a count for the likes at the moment. Let me know how many likes are on the stream. In the chat, let me know. RC is saying this. RC is saying this. He's saying if we had much better attackers, as we should have with the money we spent, we would have won by 4 or 5-0, and didn't cause their average. Our attackers, barring Raw Esteval. Now, I'm gonna thank you, Jackie. Thank you. I'm gonna get Need to start us off on this, and we have been talking about our attackers and the strength that we have in attack, the strength in depth we have in attack, not as a striker, but attack in general. You know, the Garnachos, Gittins, Estevals, Delap now, JOAO Pedro, Pedro Neto, Gui, Bonanotte, Tyvik George. We have an abundance of names up front. My concern here is how RC concluded his comment and talking about Esteval like he is the answer to all of our questions. I am concerned in regards to this narrative that has been pushed a lot on social media. What does Esteval need to do to start? What does Esteval need to do to be da-da-da-da-da? I don't think it is right for us to be putting this pressure on A, Maresca, and 2, on Esteval, because Esteval coming on, Esteval is young. Esteval is literally in his first season in the Premier League. His first experience of football outside his home country. This is something we need to be very careful about. And, you know, I've always been critical of Maresca when I think he is doing something wrong. But I also want to endorse the fact that he is looking to protect Esteval, because right now, this is you're right in calling him a raw talent, because that's what he is. And if you don't protect him, if you don't guide him, he could end up, being burnt out. He could end up being injured, and God forbid gets a long-term serious injury, because he is still young. He is still developing as in regards to his physique. Are we lacking in attack? Do you agree with this emphasis that we have on Esteval? What's your stance on this?
Thank you very much, Mo. What you just said, or the question, is something that we definitely need to address on when to play a player continuously. We know when players are on their when they are on their pick and when they're not. We've seen series of players that have had multiple minutes, multiple mileage on their legs when they were very young, and they get to a point when they get to their 25, 26, we don't see that end product.
Mason Mount, good example.
Exactly. Yeah, we don't see that what we want to see from them anymore. Mason Mount is one of them. Callum Hudson-Odoi is one of them. Charlie Musonda is one of them. Enzo Maresca, to be honest with you, is doing the great thing that he can do for our young chap or our young players. If he listen to the fan base and go out of that, we might not see the full potential of Estavio Williams. He's only 18 years old. I know he's exceptional players. He does things that a lot of our players cannot do, but it doesn't mean that we should play him every game. I know he's giving you so much, so we think he's ready. As some people say, they want it because he's giving you, I'll say 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 each and every game. You need to start him more, but that is wrong. That is wrong. One injury, he's still developing, he's still growing. One injury can set him back for like 2-3 years. We might not see him. We saw the similar thing with Callum Hudson-Odoi. He got injured, he recovered, came back, and it wasn't Callum Hudson-Odoi again. It's still very young, under the age 22. Estevao Williams is even 19 years old. Mason Mount is another example of it. A lot of players that have gone through this. So I think Reece James, another player I can chuck his name there. Even as older as he is, Enzo Maresca has been able to manage him very, very well last season and this season. I said I'm very happy if I can have Estevao Williams play 75% of our whole season games. You got a lot of games to play, 75% of our games, instead of seeing Estevao play continuously and being broken and be gone for 2-3 months or 2 months. Just like we're seeing with Levi Colwill. Enzo Maresca is managing the players as much as he can. He played against Wolves during the week. He kept him out of the scene for his body to recover very well, his bones to grow very well, for give him that rest and come in 10 minutes to go. That's the best. We got enough players on the pitch. It wasn't a game that Estevao Williams have to come in immediately in the 60th minute. No, it was a game that he can just come in and give some rest to other players. We were not on the threat. Tottenham Hotspur were not doing, threatening our 18 that much for us to force ourselves to get some players in. So I do agree with you, and I'm in the same line with the way Enzo Maresca is managing some of our players to make sure they are available, they are around the whole entire season instead of being gone for a long period of time. So that's what I'll say on it.
Yeah.
I'd love to just tack on to the end of that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think everything you just said is absolutely spot on. I think a huge part of it is like we've seen, Callum Hudson-Odoi. You're also seeing stuff like with Bukayo Saka, for instance, who's been playing from a very young age and is struggling with fitness issues in other teams, even though he's really, really, really good. I think that's one side of it. And I think the other side as well is you can't rely on an 18-year-old who's developing and learning how to be the best that he can be. You can't put him in the team and instead of saying use this opportunity to develop and get used to it, you're saying go and win us the game because you're the only person we've got that can do that. The amount of pressure that is to put on a young kid who is, yes, very talented, but like you said, he's first year in our country, do you know what I mean? Learning the language, getting used to all that stuff, that can have a massive mental tax. If things don't go well, like imagine if we do play Estevao every single game and he gets inside his own head and he's not able to score and he goes through 6-7 games getting started over and over again, all of a sudden some fans, not all, but some fans will start to turn on him. He will wake up in the morning and see things on social media saying Estevao was supposed to be the next Messi, but he's turned out to be rubbish or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So there's the physical thing, 100%, that's so important, but the mental thing as well. We are a struggling team at the moment. That is a truth. And to put all of that weight on Estevao Willian to fix it, it's kind of what happened to Cole Palmer as well. Do you know what I mean? And look at what that did to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer went through that massive phase of being off form last season and came out and talked about it. And he was like, seeing it in the news and in social media every day, people saying nasty stuff about him, and it affects him, man. It affects him. So, we've seen the mental side and the physical side with Cole Palmer, and the answer to Chelsea struggles can't be, let's take Estevao Willian and do exactly the same thing again.
Spawn. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree 100%. And Cole Palmer, I think we overplayed him, overworked him.
Definitely.
And it's the tax, or it's the result of being so good. Cole Palmer is a fantastic player, and when he came in, he wanted to prove himself. He wanted to show the club that just sold him, the mistake that they've made, and he did that at Chelsea, and he played, and he improved, and he got better, and because he got better in a time where others were not doing so great, the onus became on him, and he is the one that had to deliver game in, game out, game in, game out. I think we can't put the same weight on Estevao's shoulders. Cole Palmer is from this country. Cole Palmer has family, has friends. He can overcome. Estevao, yes, he's got his mom and dad here, but it's still a foreign land. It's still a foreign language, and he's still trying to get used to it. So I think we need to just back off and give him that time to develop and to become the player that he will become. And I think the fans, putting all this pressure, play him. Estevao is getting game time. I don't want Esteval to be the one that has to deliver right now. I want him to be part of a team that is delivering.
Mhm.
I'll put the pressure on him in a season or two down the line. You've been here a couple of years now. We need to see you deliver. Right now, let's give him that that space to get used to the league, get used to the language, the culture. Give him a break, because I think he's a fantastic player, and I think he is someone that definitely deserves us giving him that space and giving him that time to fully reach his potential. I think Kai wanted to jump in.
Yeah, I have a different perspective on this argument.
Yes.
This
Yeah.
one.
Let's hear it. Let's
Right.
get to an argument. Come on. Let's get to an argument.
Look, I
Yes, come on,
agree.
William.
On,
Learn something
I,
more than just come on, you blues.
oh, don't you worry. So I agree with what you're saying about protecting him. He's young. You don't want to put that pressure on. Fine. However, for a player to build his confidence, build his momentum, he has to be playing regularly. Do you not think Esteval is capable physically to play 2 or 3 games in a row right now? Because
Let me answer that guy before the answer. What do you think he was doing 6 months ago?
Exactly. He was playing week in, week out in the Brazilian league, which, look, we know the Premier League is physical. It's, toughest league in the world. The Brazilians are nutcases, mate. And he was doing it there. So I understand the rotation and thing that Maresca's doing, especially being the injury crisis that we've gone through. But if we want to get the best out of our players and we want to build chemistry and things like that and build a momentum, we have to be having the same lineup. We did 8 changes against Wolves. We've then done another 10. I guarantee against Carabao, there'll be another 8 changes. Player will have one good game and then he's on the bench the next game, or he's not even in the squad. And how does a player build momentum that way? I'm not asking for Esteval to play every single week, but I'm asking him to get him, like for me, play the Carabao game, play the Wolves game, then it's international break. He'll probably go on international duty. Then he can have a break for the first game back, but let him get a few consistent games in. And that's not just for him.
He has been getting subbed on when he's not been starting, though. I know it's not
No.
every single game.
Yes, but it's not. We're talking about like today. So he come on, he got 10 minutes. What's that done for him? Nothing. Where he could have played, he could have done the Wolves game, which he did. Off the top of my head, don't know how many minutes he got for the Wolves game. Let's say 70 for argument's sake. And then he could have started today and got another 60, 70 minutes. And then he could have played against Carabao and got another 60 minutes. Then he's played some regular football. Then you can rest him for the Wolves game.
Yeah, I want to.
You can't tell me that an 18-year-old can't play 2 or 3 games. Because we weren't having the same argument for Josh, who played 3 games on the bounce, and he's 19.
Yeah, but you're only talking about the physical stuff.
Matt, hold on.
But he can still do 3 games in a row.
Hold on, Kai. So I'll let Lewis jump in a second, but I don't think we are necessarily disagreeing here. Game time. So for me, there's a difference between game time and pressure. So I was talking about the pressure that we are putting on him. Okay, expectations that we have from him. Now, if we are playing him, which
Doesn't pressure make diamonds, though.
Yeah, but that's a metaphor. This is reality. So I'm talking about.
Yeah, but you've got to take it from a coaching perspective. We're coaching players to build them up. Pressure is part of that. You'll never win that argument with me. I'm sorry. Pressure is part of that.
The issue here for me is this. The issue for me here is this. There are more players in that squad that we can depend on and put that pressure on than Esteval. Esteval right now, if I'm putting the pressure on him and he starts to react negatively to that pressure that I'm putting on him, I am going to potentially lose out on something that could become a diamond in the future. Because if I put the wrong pressure on in the wrong force at the wrong time, at the wrong temperature, at the wrong etc., the wrong variables, I'm not going to get a diamond. I'm going to get a piece of coal that I can't actually do nothing with. So I want us to put the pressure on in the right way. And this is why I am not disagreeing with Maresca protecting him. Okay, I am looking at the fan base not putting that pressure on him in the way that we are going to be doing, and potentially getting him not, to crumble.
Do you agree that there is going to be? Just forget about the fan base for now. Do you agree?
Well, that's part of the argument. You can't just forget about it.
No. Well, because you haven't let me say what I'm going to say first. So if you take away that side of it, do you agree that every player has a certain amount of pressure on them playing 100%. Football, right? 100%. Exactly. So he's going to have a part of pressure anyway. Now I get it. Some fans can take it over point, but pressure is part of the game. It is. Do you think he's not putting pressure on himself?
And that's why I said the right level.
Wanting to do the best. But that's why I said the right level. It's like making assumptions. What is the right level? Can you tell me exactly what the right level is?
I gotta say something, Kai.
Too little to not make Esteval into a diamond. You can't.
I have a diamond merchant next to you, and he's gonna give you the correct answer. Go on, Lewis.
This man has 2 championships already in Brazil. He's played Copa Libertadores, and you think there's more pressure at Chelsea than at the Brazilian national team? Have you lost your mind? And that whole country's putting a lot of pressure on that young man to be the star of that team right now. So believe me, he's got the skills. He's going to come. He's going to shine. I'm not saying playing him every minute. I'm not saying playing him until he get injured. But this concept that the Chelsea fans might turn against, no. The man's got to play. If he's the best player that you have, and he's got the minutes and he can handle it, he has to be on the team. That's even for team morale.
It's not even just the fans, though, man. It's not even just the fans. The British media are the most aggressive media in the world, bar none. Literally bar none. It's not just about pressure from Chelsea fans. It's about waking up every single day. It's a new kind of pressure. And the thing is, and like I say, man, there's so much. Like, I've moved to another country and not been able to speak the language and had to ingratiate myself into the culture, and find my way. It's so hard, man. It's so much harder than just being like, oh, I'm just going to go and get a job at this place where I know the language and I'm comfortable and this and that and the other. It adds so many more levels to it. It isn't just about physically, can he handle it? Is he a good enough footballer or whatever? Like, it is all of those things together, man. And like I say, the British media are savage. Look at the Cole Palmer situation. We've literally seen an example with it. And I've seen someone in the comments say like, oh, Cole Palmer was, look at Cole Palmer at City. City wanted to do with Cole Palmer what we're doing with Esteval William right now, because look at what's happened to Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer has been run into the ground to the point where he's picked up an injury because he's been playing too much and he's had all of that pressure on him. He mentally had all of that pressure put on him because the entire weight of getting Chelsea into the top 4 over the last few seasons since he's been here was put on his back. He was physically and mentally exhausted, and it has affected his performance long term. Do you know what I mean? And just, if you can't see that with the literal player that we've got in that is from the country that we're from, and you can't see how much harder it would be for a player that's 2 years younger than that, still a kid and can't speak the language and isn't yet ingratiated into the culture. It's you're not wrong, you're just not thinking about the entire picture.
I think I am.
But you're not expecting Esteval to be the only main man for the entire season. Is Cole Palmer not coming back? Is Caicedo not doing bits this season? We're not saying, like, at the moment, I would say who we're relying on the most is Caicedo, not Esteval. If Caicedo is not playing, we do struggle. So there are other players in that environment that are taking on the pressure from the fan base, from the media, and everything like that. I mean, look at, was it the Sunderland game? The first thing after the Sunderland game, people were going, "Oh, Caicedo's not that great. He just got done by Xhaka." There are other players that we're relying on. And again, I'm not expecting Esteval to play every single game, every minute for the entire season, but a little bit of pressure is always going to be part of it. I do think he can play a few games more consecutively to help him with his own game, build momentum. And as a player, if you're playing well, like if I'm going on and I'm scoring, damn right I want to be on the pitch in the next game.
The crux of the conversation, though, is where this conversation from is what Mo said was about the pressure being on Esteval to start every game and the pressure coming from in and around. And that's what we're having the conversation about. We're not just talking about him playing a few more games than he is. We're having a conversation about the unnecessary amount of pressure that is being put on Esteval or Maresca right now to play Esteval in every single game, because it is being said before every single game, Esteval needs to start, Esteval needs to start, Esteval needs to start. So we are talking about him playing every single game. That is what this conversation is about.
Oh wait, let me say this real quick. Luis did mention something. I want to draw his attention to it. Luis did mention that Estevão Williams, what was he doing 6 months ago in Brazil? Luis, you have to take in the fact that in Brazil, in the Brazilian league, and then Copa how do you say it again?
Libertadores. Yeah.
Libertadores. It's not anywhere compared to the competitions that he's going to end up playing here. If you have a 38 games that he has to play in the Brazilian league, and I don't know how far they're going to get in the Copa Libertadores, the Champions League version of the South American team. I don't know how far they can go. Besides that, there's no any other competition that I can remember that he's going to play in. But here in Premier League, he's playing 38 games in the Premier League. He's got Carabao Cup he's got to play. He's got FA Cup he's got to play. And a team like Chelsea, you expect them to get nothing further than semifinals or finals, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. Especially a team like Chelsea going to Champions League, similar thing. They have to go further, so he's going to end up playing more games than expected of him playing even in the Brazilian league. And I don't even think he plays all the 38 games in the Brazilian league. So that is what we're trying to compare here. But
we're not saying that he play every game. But Kai is making a point: is that do you guys really think he's playing every minute that his football deserves? That the quality he's shown on the pitch deserves? No. We're all saying that he's being protected. We're not saying play him every minute of every game. But there's times we feel, Kai and I, that he deserves more exposure because he's earned it. And I think that's important also. And it'll be good for the team. And he can handle it. It's not like he's going to play every single minute of every match. We have plenty of matches where he could have played more. He could have started one or two matches here or there where we need it. And right now, Palmer's out. When Palmer's back, that's less minutes for him, believe it or not. So the fact that right now is the opportunity for this young man to get some minutes and get himself in the team.
The young players wait.
That thought's gone.
As harsh as it sounds, well, young players wait for this opportunity, wait for the person in front of them. And obviously, Cole Palmer's not directly in front of him because he's right and in the middle. He can sort of play. But when those players are injured or they're on a bad run of form, they wait for these moments so they can have their opportunity. We got so lucky in that ban that we had, where we could have a plethora of young talents, the Mounts, the Abrahams, to just play consistently week in, week out and expose themselves. And, we're crying out for experience. How do you get experience in the men's game? By playing men's football. And they will, Estevão will be licking his lips going, I have an opportunity to play as many games as possible while my main competitor, who is, let's be real, one of the best in his position, is currently not available. And do I have the gonads, the balls to maybe take this team on my back? Because we're saying, from a fan base, we can't do it, from the media can't do it. I guarantee you, right now, from what I've heard from Estevão, from the way that he speaks, how humble he is, but how much he loves football, 100% he's sitting there going, oh God, I wish I had more minutes today to score. I want to get on the next game. I want to take this team to the next level, because that's what football players want.
Every player wants more minutes, though.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? That's not like that's why it's down to the manager to make those decisions, isn't it? Because if you ask every single player, do you want to play today? They're going to go, yes, please.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you're saying, well, we shouldn't play him.
I'm not saying we shouldn't. I think we're having two different conversations. Actually, I think is what is happening with this right now. I think I'm kind of backing off of what Mo initially said, where this conversation started from, where the pressure from in and around the Chelsea fan base in particular is largely about getting him on every single game and putting him in all of the time. He's ready, playing. I don't think anyone disagrees with what you and Lewis are saying about, yeah, we think he should get more time than he's currently getting. But on the, I agree with that. But I don't think that we should just point blank do with Estevão what we did with Cole Palmer. And I think that, because we did play Cole Palmer every single game for 2 years, and now he is suffering for it. Do you know what I mean?
All right, we are now moving on. We've spent about 15 minutes.
I gotta make one more point.
We blame RC for that because it was his question.
I'll give him a minute. Go on, Nick.
Is he helping the team or not? Is he helping his development or not? If it's yes, then we're gonna move on. If it's not, then yeah.
I'll answer. Yes, 100% he's helping the team. Yes, 100% is helping him in his development because it's a good experience for him. Yes to all of the points, even the points that Lewis and Kai also made. I agree 100%. we are not arguing to say that this should be the case or this should not be the case. We are arguing to say that it needs to be managed correctly for the benefit of the player today and for the benefit of the team tomorrow. Because whether we like it or not, Estevan Willian will become a much better player if managed properly in the very near future. He's a fantastic player right now, but he can be a hell of a lot better in the very near future, and that is what we're trying to achieve, and that is why we need to manage it correctly. And I agree. Game time, building momentum, 100%. Learning by having that pressure on, 100%. It's just how do we get that pressure on him? How do we get him to develop and to become that player that we all want him to be? So fantastic, loved it, enjoyed it. Great little conversation, great little debate. And guys, if you want to see a hell of a lot more of these kind of conversations, these kind of debates, you've got to have that bell notification button turned on. And you've got to be subscribed to the Blue Lounge. And you've got to be liking the stream so you get notified every time we go live. All right, now, we dodged the bullet, lads. We dodged the bullet because we were this close. And as Fabrizio Romano was saying, for a whole transfer window, it is developing. It is progressing. It is almost done. It is going to happen. Chelsea are about to sign. Karma. Chelsea are about to sign Xavi Simons. And thank God that we didn't. Yes, I made a ton of views on that story. Yes, I milked it to bits. But Xavi Simons today was shocking. And to be fair, he hasn't done much since he's joined Juventus. Why did I get Juventus there? Since he joined next club. Since he joined Spurs. So since he's joined Spurs, he hasn't done nothing. Now, a case could be made that is the reason, the reason that he hasn't done nothing is because he is playing for Spurs. Had he been playing for Chelsea, it might have been a different story. And again, we don't know. But what do you guys make of the Xavi Simons? Because looking at what Xavi Simons offered, I can tell you this: Garnacho is doing a hell of a lot more for Chelsea than Xavi Simons is doing for Spurs. So, what's your take on the Xavi Simons thing? Because I want to address it. I want to talk about it. I want to gloat. Go ahead.
I don't hate the guy, but look,
not personal. It's not personal.
It's not personal. I've watched football for a very long time, and when I see a talent, I can tell this is a talent. This is a player that knows football. It's not about the skills. It's not about those flick and trick from here. No, we have footballers. We have ball jugglers. There's two different things. You have footballers and ball jugglers. I've said the same thing with Mohamed Kudus. Mohamed Kudus is a fantastic player. He's got a lot of tricks and strong, but he's not a ball. I'll say he doesn't have that juggling skills. When he get to because of the way he played football, when he gets to the
Kudus is more productive. To be fair, he's more productive than
he can be better. Kudus is more better, but when he gets to the final third, he's got missing. That's why he's not producing more goals. When I see Xavi Simons, I don't see him as a footballer. I see him as five-a-side, that kind of indoor football, and the one Ronaldinho, the Brazilians have been playing
football.
Football, the football, whatever they call it. He's not a 90-minute player, and he can never be. That is why I was always in the line that we should get Alejandro Garnacho, who can be a 90-minute player. He can't handle the ball. He can't track the ball. He can't hold the ball. What kind of a player is he? So I saw the green light that Chelsea don't want that player. That is why it took forever for a deal to be done. And I told many people, and now the argument is because Dan is telling me he's not happy because he's at Tottenham Hotspur. And I said, what does that got to do with being at Tottenham Hotspur? We're not judging him because he's now with the Birds. We're talking about him being on the pitch playing football and can't handle the ball. 11 games now, his contribution has been very poor. First time I've ever seen a 70 million spent player that is being subbed on and subbed off. This is not JOAO. JOAO was much better under Jose Mourinho, but this guy is different. He's not good enough, and Thomas Frank knew that. That's why he didn't even start him. So all the time I know he's not going to be productive for Chelsea, and I never wanted him, and I saw that the green light was going to be out on Garnacho. So that's my take on it. He's
I've
not
got
good.
a question before Matt jumps in, because my question is for Matt anyway.
Yeah,
Because
go
we
on.
spoke about it on the stream.
Yeah.
Do you think that Xavi would have been a better option to have than Buonanotte
Yeah.
if you had the choice
Yeah.
of Xavi
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Buonanotte in the 10?
Yeah. No,
So-
I do.
Yeah, I'll let you go then,
Yeah.
Matt, after that question.
I think the thing from the Chelsea perspective with Xavi Simons, I think Chelsea only wanted Xavi Simons when we thought he was going to be cheap. Because I don't know if you remember, when the news first started breaking, it was 50 million euros. That is the price that was getting thrown around.
45 million pounds, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Literally. So when we were talking about paying 40 to 45 million pounds for Xavi Simons, he's very young. He's got excellent numbers in some of his past seasons, like really, really good numbers. I think that when it seemed like it could be a bargain, they were interested. And as soon as the negotiations ramped up to the point where it was going to be 60, 70 mil, I think we just pulled out, because it's like, we're not interested if it's going to cost that much. Because it was interesting what happened, wasn't it? Because he dropped out of the Red Bull Leipzig pre-season, and because we thought the deal was going to go through. And then he rejoined it a couple of weeks later and started playing for him again. That, for me, is when the deal died. That isn't, Fabrizio Romano kept it going every single day, and we all kept releasing news and stories about it because we thought something still might happen. But I think the truth is, we were only interested in Xavi Simons when we thought it was going to be cheap. And that is also maybe backed up by the fact that when we went in for Fermin Lopez, we were talking about the same kind of price for him as well. So I think it was one of them, man. Like, I think the interest in Xavi Simons was overblown largely by the reporters. And I think that, it was dragged on by Fabrizio Romano. And I think the truth of the fact is, like I say, when he went back into the Red Bull Leipzig team, that was deal off at that point. Do you know what I mean? So I don't, it was a bullet dodged in the grand scheme of things, but I think it feels even more like that because the news went on for so long. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I think we tanked that deal a really long time before the news let us think so. So yeah, I do think, like, to answer Kai 100%, I think he'd have been better than Buonanotte. I think he'd have, because of the money, he'd have demanded more team time as well. I think that he would naturally have played in all of these games since Cole Palmer's not been here as well, one way or the other. And, I think that Maresca could have done something good with him. He was a really, really creative player, and his assist numbers across his career are phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? For the most part, really, really good assisting
Not
player.
in the Prem.
Not in the Prem. No. I mean, if he hadn't have gone to Tottenham, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, just to interrupt you for a second. We know RB Leipzig players don't really transfer to the Premier League very well. We've seen it with a lot. The numbers they record in the Bundesliga, fantastic. When it comes to the Premier League,
Yeah.
not the same.
I also think it's the slight style. Obviously, last year, I think, even though Ange is a terrible manager, his football would have suited Xavi Simons better because it's attacking football.
Yeah,
Thomas Frank's football, go listen to Spurs fans. It's too defensive. It's too... look at today. There was like a no attacking impetus. I think he would thrive better in a free-flowing attacking team, not a defensive structured... He's like a luxury player. He's not a player that sits systematically. He's one that likes to float and pick up pockets of space. And I don't think that suits Tottenham. Tottenham.
You're spot on in regards to the way he plays, but one thing that I was so taken back by was the amount of times we just, literally took the ball off him. And, he thought he had, more time on the ball, and then Reece James would come and take the ball from him. Caicedo would take the ball from him. And it's like, what's going on? I mean, this guy literally, knee was spot on. Five-a-side where you have, those flicks and tricks would make a difference. In this kind of league, in this kind of, pace, aggression, physicality, I think Xavi Simons is not going to be in the Premier League for very long.
Yeah, no, I think the physical aspect is pretty. I mean, look at Florian Wirtz; he's struggling with it too. Like it's a different ball game in the Premier League. But I do think that the style that Tottenham play, I just don't think it suits him at the moment. Like, he can change. He's young. He could adapt to it. He could jump in the gym, get a bit more physic. Big up Bobby. But yeah, like I said, you know, if you had the option between the two, a price definitely played, you know, a big factor into why we didn't get Xavi. 100%, I agree with Matt on that one. And I think we were just looking for bargain deals in that area. Mainly, I would say mainly because we only see Palmer in that 10. And the only reason we would use anybody else is if he was injured. And that's why they were looking for a bargain. They didn't want to pay 70, 80 million for a 10 that's going to play the odd game here and there. Obviously, they didn't envision Palmer to be out for so long.
We'd have just got Morgan Rogers otherwise, wouldn't we? Because he's proven.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, but he did not look great today, and he hasn't looked great all season. So
no, he got muscled off the ball a few times, man. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah. We were cheering every time.
Yeah.
I always say something. In football. If you're a good player, no matter system it is, no matter how the system is and they put you in, you will still excel if you're that good of a player. And I'm not comparing Xavi Simons to Eden Hazard. I'm comparing Xavi Simons' style of play to all those number 10s that we've had, the likes of Neymar, Eden Hazard, and I would say maybe Maradonas and all the others. You get what I'm saying? No matter what the formation is, Eden Hazard played under series, different kind of managers. Every season he excel. He can go for a drought for a little bit, but when he starts scoring, he's got his goals again. And I'm not seeing that from Xavi Simons. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think anyone expected Xavi Simons to be the next Maradona, though.
Do you know? I'll say this. Let's do a more a more realistic comparison and look at Estevao Willian. Estevao Willian, his physicality, his size, his age. You would think he'd be won over, by every single player in the Premier League. But that's not the case. Estevao Willian, because he is a talented footballer, because he does know where to stand, where to be, where to dribble to, how to take his man on, how to defend himself, how to protect the ball. He knows how to do all of that. He's not just about the fancy flicks and tricks. And because he knows how to do that, he's a better player, in my opinion, than Xavi Simons. And that is why he is able to adapt to a different league, a different country, a different culture. Xavi Simons, I think he is mentally not as strong as Estevao.
Yeah.
I think Estevao, even for his age, mentally he is stronger. And Estevao believes that he can do better. He can improve. The way that Estevao has been brought up, and this is based on what I've heard from people who know him, who are close to him. Estevao Willian, he is humble. He has a similar mindset to N'Golo Kante, by the way. N'Golo Kante was very humble. Even though he reached massive heights, he was still humble. It seems to me that Estevao Willian has that mindset, a humble mindset, a respectful mindset, okay, a hard-working mindset, which is going to push him to become a better player. While the likes of Xavi Simons, and there's others, but we're focused on Xavi Simons here. Xavi Simons, I think, and I feel by his attitude, by the way he carries himself, he feels a little bit entitled.
Massive ego.
Because
huge.
Yeah, massive ego. And if you have that ego, you are not gonna, you're not gonna improve. You're not gonna get better.
Do you think that? Oh, I can pretty much answer no. He didn't want to go to Spurs, but do you think that he only took Spurs because of the bridges he probably burnt at Leipzig because he wanted to move, and obviously Chelsea pulled out? Because he doesn't look, even when he's coming on, before he's even touched the ball, he doesn't look happy.
No, he
coming on the pitch, he doesn't look happy to be there, and that we're talking about Estevao mentality. That could be a big part of why he is so poor, because mentally he doesn't actually want to be there, but it's just because it was the only option.
There's been a few interesting stories about Xavi Simons from previous teams about his really big personality. Like he kind of like tries, he's very much like he owns the room when he walks in it, and I mean he's put a few people off in the changing room and stuff as well. I saw some random story about how like he got a custom hat that basically said something like I am the best, but like in an internet meme kind of way. And he really, really believes his own hype. And I think to come into the Premier League and to be sat down a few times like he has been done. Do you know what I mean? And to not be the best player on his team, or do you know what I mean? I think that he's not used to not finding it as easy. Whereas, like Mo said, Esteval Willian is the complete opposite. So Esteval's come into the Premier League, and because he's humble, he's looked at it and he's gone, this is going to be really, really hard. I need to be mentally ready for this. But I have a feeling that Xavi Simons came into the league thinking he was going to walk it, and he's not walking it, and he's struggling to...
It's about the P's. For Xavi Simons, it's about the P's. I think for Esteval, it's about the legacy, the future. You know, listen, he's a Brazilian. Brazilians and he was from South America, so he knows a little bit about this. Football is like their second religion. You know, it's like it is not something they would take lightly. They are committed. They are 100% committed. Lads, there is 25 of you, 25 people in the chat. Please smash that like button. Jackie gave me an update a second ago saying we're on 22 likes. There's 25 of you. Let's get 25 likes. I don't think that's too much to ask. We are now going to be playing carrier bag, 3 pence plastic bag. I don't know what you want to call it. Well, it's just not 3 pence anymore. It's like 25p, 30p, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, carrier bag. Yeah, literally. And if you go to some stores, I'll charge you a nugget, a pound. But anyway, moving on. Carrier bag on Wednesday night or Wednesday late afternoon, as we are playing them at 5:45, not 7:45. At 5:45 because it's an away fixture and the time difference and whatnot. So I don't think I'll be doing a stream for that. We may do a reaction video. Would you guys be up for that? A reaction video?
I'm not going to be around on the night.
Right. The rest of the team?
I'll be there. Yeah, fine.
Lewis?
I'll get hold of you.
I have to confirm. I have to confirm a work thing, but I'll try. I'll let you know.
All right.
Tomorrow.
So, guys, we may be doing a post-match stream. We may be doing a pre-match stream, a preview. But because it's carrier bag, we'll have to wait and see. Just have that bell notification button turned on, and you'll know if we do go live. But yeah, looking forward to a couple of easy-ish fixtures coming up. So, Carabao, easy fixture. Wolves, easy fixture. Burnley.
Don't speak too soon on the Wolves one, man.
Listen. If we make it that hard as we did in the last game, that was a fluke.
High pressing a few long throws, mate.
Yeah, I want to see a 3-0 first half, and that is a close up shop, and just don't be doing what we were doing. But yeah, you know what? The lap might actually come back just for that game to get sent off again. Hopefully not. Yeah, so we've got Wolves. We've got Wolves on the 8th of November, and then is that an international break?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, international break. So we got 2 games to go, and then we got international break. We come back to play Burnley on the 22nd, and then Barcelona on the 25th. Really looking forward to that.
After the international break is tasty.
Yeah, I am gonna try to get a ticket for that game. I want to go watch Barcelona at the Bridge. I'm gonna see if I can sort myself out of the ticket, but we'll see. So we have got some fantastic games coming up. 3 relatively easy ones. This international break is a big one for me because my country is having a the international playoffs, so playing United Arab Emirates and then potentially Bolivia, and if we win we are in the World Cup. If not, we are not in the World Cup. So I might be doing some content on that as well on the Blue Lounge YouTube channel and TikTok.
I'm rooting for you, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's we haven't been in the World Cup since 1986. So, but the last time we were in the World Cup, it was in Mexico. So, potentially we might be in Mexico again. In what was it, 86? That's 40 years.
Some things are just fated, you know.
Yeah, 4 years. 4 years. You never know. You never know. I mean, qualifying once every 4 years ain't too bad, is it? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But lads, it has been a fantastic stream. I've really enjoyed it. More content coming on the Blue Lounge. More content coming on the Stanford Sink. More content coming on the fans, football and beyond. Or is it football fans and beyond? Correct me, Lewis.
Fans and beyond, yes, sir.
Football fans and beyond, behind the dugouts and Nizion's BMC,
BCM.
Blue BCM, Blue Clouds Media. Blue Clouds Media. So make sure you are following all the platforms. Also, don't forget about Worldwide Chelsea. Sadiq, he has been AWOL for a minute. I might give him a call and be like, Giza, what you been doing, man? You know, jump on here. We need to see you. We need to see you. We need to hear from you. But yeah, thanks to everyone who's been on. Thank you for all of you in the chat. Dan, Jackie, Omar, Gabrielle, Bobby Fairview. Have I missed anyone? I don't want to miss anyone. Not a lot of you have been commenting. A lot of you have been on today. So thank you all for being on. And thank you all to all of you who have smashed that like button. More content coming on the Blue Lounge. We beat Tottenham. We smashed Tottenham. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. Everywhere.
Same again next season.
All right, guys. Before we end the stream, I want to have a chant all together. All right. So I'm gonna start it, and then you guys are gonna jump in. Ready? If you hate Tottenham, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. All right, people. Take care. Have a good one. And I will see you in the next one. Stay safe and peace out.